All roads lead to the Final Four here in the city of Dasmariñas. Welcome to the Dasmariñas Arena and our coverage of the 2023 CORSA Tires Asiabasket Championship Dasmariñas semi-finals. It's the Final Four. We've got a doubleheader for this afternoon as we kick things off on a Friday. Our first game takes us through Statham Academy. They're the top seed in their group. In Group A, they're taking on the Shawarma Shack squad. That's our first game. Our second game later, it's the Benilde Blazers taking on the Miss Orem Mustangs. All four of these teams in the semis were the respective higher seeds. No upsets heading into our semi-final round. Magandang hapon po. My name is Stancy alongside Coach Mark Dandan. And Mark, we've got quite the afternoon ahead of us.
As you said, the top seeds all made it to the semifinals. So all these games will be between what arguably can be the best teams here in our tournament. So it makes for a big day today in our semifinals.
Let's zoom out once again and take you through the bracket here so we can show you the road that took us to this point here in the semifinals. So Statham Academy on your upper right, they actually went through the Dasmariñas Monarchs, who were the fourth seed in Group B in our crossover knockout round. And then Shawarma Shack, they were the 2 seed in Group A, and they took out Makati Circus Music Festival in yesterday's quarterfinal round.
You know, the Statham Academy actually had a pretty dominant elimination round. They only stepped up once against the Pilipinas Aguilas. On the other hand, it was a pretty up and down regular season. For the Shawarma Shack, they won their first 2 games, lost their next 2 games, and then they won the deciding game, the game that propelled them to the quarterfinals and eventually here to the semifinals.
We're going to delve deeper into both of these teams and their road to the semifinals, but first, our game announcer will be introducing each lineup. So that's going to help us get to know our protagonists just a little bit better heading into the semifinal matchup.
CORSA Tars, and now let's meet the lineup for both teams. First, for Statham Academy, number 0, Isaac Ether. Number 1, Isaac Davis. Number 7, Jonathan Guzman. Number 8, Travis DeVita. Number 9, Devin Francis. Number 15, Luke Penazola. Number 11, Kevin Dasom. Number 22, Ethan Chong. Number 24, Joshua Bebb. Number 32, Taylor Statham. And number 30, Austin Galupo. And now the lineup for your Shawarma Shack. Number 1, Nino Ibanez. Number 2, Martin Inocencio. Number 4, Ike Akpuru. Number 8, Domark Mantiliano. Number 9, Vince Alba. Number 11, Mac Montiliano. Number 13, James Castro. Number 15, Justine Alano. Number 19, Francis Camacho. Number 20, Billy Rojo. Number 24, Angelo Obuyes. Number 26, Ken Azibar. Number 29, Chris Menges. Number 30, Mick Guevara. And number 39, Jamil Kabawan. Please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem. Please be seated. Our officials of the ball game: crew chief Arnolfo Bermeo, umpire 1 Anthony Roque, umpire 2 Jerome Guy, technical director Liberato Valenzuela.
Our players from both Statham Academy and Shawarma Shack currently exchanging pleasantries, and we are minutes away from tip-off right here. Now let's backtrack and take a look at the journey that Shawarma Shack took to get to this place in the semi-final round. You mentioned it earlier, Coach Mark, that Shawarma Shack had an up-and-down season, and this is actually their best finish coming out of the elimination phase in 2023, because earlier this year, Shawarma Shack was actually with us in Kuala Lumpur, and they didn't even make it to the quarterfinal round then.
No, they had the same record that they had back then in Kuala Lumpur, where they won 2 games, they lost 2 games. But this time, barring any kind of hiccups, they could be playing for the championship. Regardless of what happens to them, they win or lose, this is their best finish ever. But of course, they want to keep going and eventually win that Asiabasket chip.
Now, to get to the semi-final round, Shawarma Shack had the dispatch of the Makati Circus Music Festival. Domart Matiliano was their main man on offense. He had 26 points. He's actually in the running to be a member of the All-Asiabasket Tournament first team in this leg.
Domart Matiliano is a known scorer. That is his calling card. He can put up points in bunches, and then he will be counted upon, especially today. He's going to be the focal point of the offense alongside James Castro for Shawarma Shack.
And Domart Matiliano, his averages are actually just slightly under 19 points per game. He's also averaging 5.8 rebounds per game, shooting almost 43% from downtown, which is no easy feat regardless of the level you're playing at.
And whether that's the #1 skill that Domart Matiliano can bring to the floor, it's his shooting. He's a multi-time three-point shootout winner in the other leagues. But not only is he a good shooter, but he can put the ball on the floor and finish and create for his other teammates.
And Domart Matiliano hasn't been doing it alone. He's actually been getting some help here in the Shawarma Shack squad in the form of his teammate Jerome Castro. They call him Astro Boy, and he's actually stepped up, particularly in that game against the Makati Circus Music Festival.
James Castro actually had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists. A known scorer for his One Bataan Risers team in the MPBL. Right now, he's doing more of being a point guard as a facilitator here for the Shawarma Shack.
Coach Mark, you actually had James Castro on your roster back when you were both in the Bataan Risers. So what's that special element that Castro brings to the table?
He can actually create a lot for his teammates because his main strength is really getting downhill and getting to the hoop. So here, having a guy like Domart Matiliano to share the backcourt with him, a known scorer and shooter, it really opens up the lanes for James Castro to not only score, but dish the rock.
35-year-old James Castro being a key cog right here in the Shawarma Shack lineup as you see them getting ready. Keeping sharp against this Statham Academy squad that is well prepared and very disciplined.
But discipline is the #1 word that you can use for Statham Academy. Being led by a guy like Taylor Statham, who's been, played a lot, not only here in the Philippines, but across Southeast Asia. So he understands how the game is being played here in the Philippines and around Asia as well.
And looking at the journey of Statham Academy here in Asiabasket, they've only lost once against the Pilipinas Agilas. Much was said about that upset victory, but they were able to bounce back. And just yesterday against the Dasmariñas Monarchs, they put on a dominant performance, taking care of business, 101-84 behind a double-double effort from Jonathan Guzman.
And you can see the field goal percentages. Statham Academy shot 50% the whole game. That is an incredibly high number to maintain throughout 40 minutes in a basketball game. So it speaks volume of the efficiency for the offense of Statham Academy.
The three-point shooting was also on point yesterday. There was a point where they made 8 out of 11 from downtown midway through the third quarter, led by this man, Taylor Statham, who was actually in foul trouble yesterday, and yet he still put on a show.
Taylor Statham, he can do everything on the floor. He can score, he can rebound, he can pass the basketball. And it's no surprise that the one game that he really struggled was the game they lost against the Pilipinas Agilas.
But yesterday against Dasmariñas, he had 27 points, shot 5 of 8 from long range, 11 rebounds, and that's despite the foul trouble, Coach.
Taylor Statham, he is a known scorer. He can shoot the 3-ball, he can put the ball on the floor. But what he's really good at is getting to the hoop, drawing a lot of fouls. And as you said, despite the foul trouble, it's his efficiency on the floor. Whenever he's on the floor, he can provide multiple points per minute.
Now, Taylor Statham wasn't doing it all alone. He actually had Jonathan Guzman, who gave us a double-double, an all-around performance as well. He contributed 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 block shots on top of all of that yesterday.
And Jonathan Guzman was actually playing very well their last 3 games, but this is he's reached his peak form, finished 27 points on 13 out of 16 shooting from the field. He mainly operates in the inside, and he's been a recipient of a lot of good passes from Taylor Statham.
Now, Jonathan Guzman is someone we're going to get to know very well in just a bit as he stands by with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Kimberly Mas.
Thank you, Stan. I'm here with Jonathan Guzman. Yesterday, Taylor Statham was named Best Player of the Game, but you also had a Best Player of the Game worthy performance yourself.
Yeah, honestly, all the Best Player of the Game stuff really doesn't matter anything to me. It's all about winning, honestly. I'm just blessed to be put in the right place at the right time by my teammates, and yeah.
And you guys are going to be hosting a couple more basketball workshops next week. So how was your experience like with the kids here in Dasmariñas?
The kids were amazing, man. It really warms my heart to be able to do things like that. Honestly, it's really about the kids and about experiences like that last a lifetime, way longer than anything monetary.
Good luck, Jonathan. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kim. Now let's send it over to our game announcer for the starting lineups.
And now let's meet the starters for both teams. First, for Statham Academy. At guard, number 1, Isaac Davis. At forward, number 7, Jonathan Guzman. At the other guard, number 8, Javes De Vita. At the other forward, number 9, Devin Funches. And at small forward, number 32, Taylor Statham. The head coach of Statham Academy is Coach Phil Roman. And now let's meet the lineups. Starting 5 for your Shawarma Shack. At point guard, number 1, Nino Ibanez. At center, number 4, Ike Akpuru. At shooting guard, number 13, James Castro. At small forward, number 29, Chris Menges. And at power forward, number 39, Jamil Gabawan. The head coach of Shawarma Shack is Coach Cesar Mabasa. This is the CORSA Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship Semifinals.
And there's a look at our starting lineup for Statham Academy. No Isaac Etter in the starting lineup. He's been dealing with an ankle sprain. He's actually listed as a game time decision for today, Coach. So we have no idea if Isaac Etter will be suiting up or will actually step on the floor. He's actually in uniform. Isaac Davis in his place in the 1-guard slot. Meanwhile, for Shawarma Shack, Ike Akpuru, their man in the middle, no surprise there. You've got Nino Ibanez and James Castro in the backcourt. Jamil Gabawan and Chris Menges stepping up here in the front court for the Blue Shirts.
Well, Isaac Davis has been playing very well in the absence of Isaac Etter. Actually had 11 assists in his first start. Against in their last regular season game. So look for him to create more for Taylor Statham, Devin Funches, and the rest of his front line.
And as we get underway, this tip-off of the game is brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. Akpuru and Funches, that's your matchup in the middle. Taylor Statham with a double. Menges with the drive, couldn't nail it off the glass.
It's actually a good drive right there. Just unfortunate that the help was right there from Devin Funches.
Kick out to De Vita, looking for options. Interception there for Ibanez, and Shawarma Shack is running, but look at Statham Academy's discipline on defense here.
It's a good transition defense from Statham Academy. And as I say that, they leave Jamil Gabawan open in the paint.
Nice pass inside from James Castro, one of the vets on that Shawarma Shack lineup.
It's interesting to see that the Statham Academy is actually starting with a 3-big lineup. You see Funches, Taylor Statham, and Jonathan Guzman right on the front court.
Devin Funches with that fadeaway, and Funches is actually nominally a forward, just a de facto big given our situation here in the Philippines and in Asiabasket.
Oh, anytime you're above 6'5", you can actually play the center position, especially if you're in the Philippines.
Kahit 6'4" pa nga for a lot of our undersized big men as Guzman picks it up. Akpuru took a slip and tumble, and now Statham is running. Nice pass from Taylor Statham to Jonathan Guzman.
And that's just a sliver of what Taylor Statham can do. Whenever he has the ball, he attracts so many defenders, leaving a lot of guys open.
James Castro wide open. Funches may have been too late there. So that's going to be a foul. Probably even a bailout as we take a look at this assist of the game brought to you by Fiberblaze. Nothing beats local.
Just a poor closeout there from Devin Funches. He actually challenged well with the shot by James Castro, but his momentum kept him going towards the shooter, ended up fouling Castro at the three-point line.
James Castro at the line. One of the homegrown players from the Bataan Risers in the MPBL. What does it mean for someone like James Castro to be playing for a team that represents a city he came from?
Well, James, number one, he understands the responsibility on his shoulders as a representative of the Bataan province and a very proud basketball team at that, the One Bataan Risers. It's actually him and Jamil Gabawan is also a native of Bataan, playing here for the Shawarma Shop. Very proud Bataeños there and always ready to represent their province in any basketball game.
And one thing we like about Asiabasket is that it really brings players from different parts of the country together. Siyempre, mahirap yan given that we are an archipelago. As De Vita almost lost the rock there, it will stay with Statham Academy as Menguez tried to deflect that out of bounds.
And another beautiful thing about what we're doing here for the Asiabasket, not only are we attracting teams from the provinces, but also, as the name says, teams from around Asia.
Travis De Vita with the three. He and the rest of Statham Academy have fallen in love with that outside shot throughout this week.
And they have a bunch of shooters out there standing. Very capable shooters at that. You also have Austin Galupo coming off the bench, who's a known scorer as well.
Lucky bounce right there from Jamil Gabawan. So back and forth so far. That's how we're starting here in the first. De Vita was calling for it on the outside. Instead, Isaac Davis finds it. Taylor Statham in the running to be the MVP of this tournament. 6 on the shot clock as De Vita has the drive, takes the floater, tips it to Akpuru. Shawarma Shack on the run. Ibanez, nice pass. Left corner three, that's wide open for Astro Boy.
And that's really a shot that James Castro has added to his arsenal as he has grown older. That outside shot, he wasn't known for that when he was a bit younger.
Jonathan Guzman answering back with a baseline J. We're not at 9.
It's actually, this pace is not favoring the Statham Academy. They're usually playing at a much faster pace, going on fast breaks almost every time. So the slower pace, really for Shawarma Shop.
Akpuru, no-look pass to Nino Ibanez with the finish.
And you can see defensively that the Statham Academy is trying to gamble a lot, getting some steals off the passes. That time not working for them.
Devin Funches from the mid-range. That was a smooth jumper.
That release really looks smooth for Devin Funches. When he started out his first few games, that release was a bit stiff from the outside, but right now he's found his rhythm. He's gotten some game time under him, so he looks a lot more comfortable in his position.
Devin Funches not really an offensive threat, only averaging 7 per game as we take a look at that James Castro 3, and that 3-point shot of the game was brought to you by CORSA motorcycle tires. Dominate the streets. And going back to Devin Funches, he's someone who's excelled on the defensive end. Probably some of that wide receiver skills from the NFL carrying over to basketball.
And he's actually #1 in the league in steals. So he's showing those really good hands. You know, whenever you're a wide receiver, you're tasked to catch the hardest of passes. So you have to have those good hands when you're playing in the NFL.
And Devin Funches also an interior defender, pretty effective as Taylor Statham displays his range.
What a weapon Taylor Statham is. He can kill you from the inside, he can hit it from the outside, he can drop assists at any time. So what a weapon for the Statham Academy.
And with the way that Statham Academy has been shooting here in Asiabasket, pretty much the entire lineup has license to shoot.
Well, I haven't seen anyone regret taking a 3-point shot from that lineup, talking about the Statham Academy.
Ike Akpuru at the line here. Former TIP engineer.
So Akpuru's not the biggest world import that we have here in Asiabasket, but he does have excellent footwork, which allows him to really maneuver around some bigger defenders, and he has that quickness to boot.
Let's take a look at that last Taylor Statham 3. Even with the defender in his grill, he's able to just knock it down as Akpuru goes 2 for 2 at the line. He's actually been averaging 78% from the foul line, si Ike Akpuru. Good for third among those qualified.
He's actually shown a good touch from around the perimeter. I've seen him shoot fadeaways and step-back jump shots, so he really has that weapon in his arsenal.
So we've got Domark Mateliano checking in. He wasn't a starter here in this contest. And Justin Alano replacing Ike Akpuru here for Shawarma Shack. Interesting strategy to bring Domark Mateliano off the bench as De Vita fires from long range. And Guzman thought he was able to get that rebound. Instead, he's going to get tagged with a foul.
And that's the luxury that Shawarma Shack has. You know, you have an offensive weapon in James Castro who can start the ball game for you. And then Domark Mateliano, essentially a microwave scorer, can get hot in 3 seconds. So whenever these two guys are inside, these guys can play alongside each other because James Castro can swing to the point guard, Mateliano can be the shooting guard. So that really opens up a lot of offensive options for Shawarma Shack.
Statham Academy bringing in their second unit, so that's Austin Galupo, Isaac Etter, who's been dealing with that nagging ankle injury, and Ethan Chong, another sharpshooter for the white shirts. And that makes Taylor Statham your de facto 4.
And again, they're going smaller now because that pace wasn't really at their liking, that slow down pace.
And Austin Galupo looking to heat up pretty quick. And if you've read the scouting report on Statham Academy, you know not to leave this man open.
And it's very hard to defend this lineup right now for Statham Academy because 4 out of the 5 guys right here can step out and hit the triple.
Meanwhile, on offense, Alano no good. Statham now running the break. Nice pass. The finish was nowhere for Devin Funches, and now Shawarma Shack is running 2-on-2 on the break. James Castro getting fancy. What a finish from Astro Boy, but on the other end of the court, Devin Funches is down.
Devin Funches took quite a spill when he tried that reverse layup. It seems like he could have slipped on a wet spot and took a pretty hard bump going down.
Devin Funches looks like he can walk on his own 2 feet, so that's good. A bit of a limp from our vantage point.
Oh, it's no fun. Every time you take a slip and you hit something on the hard court, definitely no fun for Devin Funches right there.
So Statham Academy plays on. Isaac Davis back on the court. So now Statham Academy is really going small, but given their lineup, malaki pa rin compared to Filipino players and lineups.
Definitely, mas malaki ng konti dito than your average Filipino lineup because Taylor Statham, who is actually 6'5", 6'6", can swing from the 3 spot to the 5 spot easily. And then you have a guy like Ethan Chong who can play the 3 and 4 spots. So that gives them a lot of versatility and, more importantly, a lot of shooting.
Statham at the line, he got fouled by Justin Alano of Shawarma Shack, who could not believe that that foul was called on him. Now let's take a look at that move of the game brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires, rather. Dominate the streets. James Castro putting on a show as Statham drills both free throws. And going back to Justin Alano, he's an undersized big stepping in here for Ike Akpuru.
Oh, Justin Alano's been at that position for the longest time, especially when he started in college for University of Perpetual Help. So he's used to playing there in that undersized 5 position, but he's an excellent interior scorer.
No good there for Shawarma Shack. That was Mateliano who missed on the 3. They go back to Galupo. Thought about it, then took it. And Austin Galupo is a man without a conscience, especially when he gets hot from downtown.
He reminds me a lot of Adam Morrison with the way he plays, that release point, and especially the long flowing hair.
We made that comparison last night as well during the Statham Academy game. Adam Morrison, of course, the former star from Gonzaga University, the Zags, ended up having a pedestrian career in the NBA, but still walked away with a couple of championship rings with the Lakers. Meanwhile, Isaac Davis fires from downtown. Rebound Shawarma Shack. Here we go. James Castro on the break yet again. Finishes and draws the foul. That's an N1.
Well, that's what James Castro is really known for. turning on the jets on the fast break and finishing in transition.
And they call him Astro Boy because he can get up in space and he can create that space as well. Now let's take a look at that drive of the game brought to you by Jabber Motocom. Make rides more fun. So he used the right hand there. Reverse layup. Three-point play is good for James Castro. There's Ethan Chong squaring up from downtown. Ether grabs the board. Fresh 14 for Statham Academy. Galupo putting on the move. From the free throw line, that jumper didn't look like it was going to go in, but Galupo proved us wrong.
Austin Galupo, as he said, no conscious, hasn't met a shot that he didn't like.
Shawarma Shack looking to set up here. Alano wants to post up Galupo because he knows Galupo's not a natural big. Shot from the top of the key. That one's no good for Camacho. On the break here, Galupo once again. And Galupo's gone 2 for 4 here so far. Meanwhile, James Castro knew he had that quick first step. And for a 35-year-old player like Castro to still have that quick first step, that's quite a blessing.
It is. It's a God-given talent, what James Castro has on the fast break. Whenever, you know, when you see him, when he's playing defense or when he doesn't have the ball, he doesn't look like the quickest guy on the floor. But once he gets that basketball and some momentum, he's one of the quickest guards I've ever seen in Philippine basketball who can go court to court.
Yun yung tinatawag na downhill speed, diba? There's a reason why that's an actual badge you play for in NBA 2K.
And there's a reason why they call him Astro Boy. Kasi nga, when he gets that basketball, it seems like his feet turn into jets. If our viewers are familiar with the anime, Astro Boy.
2-point game here. Are you surprised with how Shawarma Shack is hanging with Statham Academy?
Not really, because this is a bunch of veterans who played around the Philippines already and played numerous seasons as professionals. So they're disciplined and they understand that their pace right here, the slower pace, favors them.
Statham Academy, it's as if they're playing keep away with the way they've been sharing the ball. And look who's wide open. Austin Galupo. Shawarma Shack able to corral the rebound. Alano on the break here. And you know he had to stop. He was going to get overmatched on defense.
He was actually looking for James Castro, but he was subbed out already.
Mac Montilla checked in here for Shawarma Shack. Galupo not able to save it for his team. So Shawarma Shack has 7 seconds to shoot here. They swing it around. 5 to shoot. Ball will stay with Shawarma Shack. This time with 1.7 seconds remaining.
Well, watch out for alley-oops here or a quick pass back to the inbounder for a jump shot.
Justin Alano from the post. Galupo with a corral.
Quite the rebound from Austin Galupo right there.
Showing he can do the big boy boards as well. De Vita in transition knocks it down.
If you can see how well spaced Statham Academy was there. They only had one guy in the paint that was dead with punches. All 4 guys spread out on the perimeter.
6 points now for De Vita. Meanwhile, Statham Academy doubling on defense, but that leaves Justin Alano alone.
That double team off the ball screen hasn't been working for Statham Academy. There's always somebody wide open in the paint.
Justin Alano with that last basket, and now Shawarma Shack looking to get on a run. Domark Matiliano able to protect himself and get some space inside.
Excellent body control by Matiliano. Just brushing off Travis De Vita to get himself open for that layup.
Under a minute left to play here in the first as Galupo's floater just went nowhere.
Statham Academy seems a little disjointed here on offense. A lot of one pass, one shot possessions for them.
Mac Montilla took that 3 because he had the confidence.
Oh, Mac Montilla has always had that shot, the 3-point shot. He hasn't been taking them a lot here in Asiabasket, but that's a weapon that he has.
About 11 seconds separating shot clock and game clock here. De Vita trying for 3 again, no good. And Shawarma Shack can hold on to this one and have the final possession of the quarter. And barring anything ridiculous, they might just finish this quarter on top. That'll go against Devin Funches.
It's actually a pretty bad foul, not only because of the situation, but Funches already had Asibar locked down.
And let's take a look at this defensive play of the game, brought to you by Decathlon. At the line here, Kenneth Asibar, the former UE Red Warrior. Part of those teams from the late 2000s until the early 2010s.
Well, we've had a bunch of guys who played for that team playing here in Asiabasket.
Para naging reunion para sa squad nila, no?
We had James Martinez and Rafi Reyes who played for the Phuket Waves. Some pretty strong UE Red Warrior teams back in the day.
Shortly after the James Yap and Paul Artadi era. Austin Galupo, as time winds down, that one unable to drop. And at the end of one, Shawarma Shack is on top against Statham Academy. I don't know if we have the record, but this could be the first time Statham Academy ends a quarter down on the scoreboard.
It's probably the first time that the team has actually prepared very well for Statham Academy, because the Shawarma Shack has done it defensively. See the highlights there, offensive highlights. James Castro leading the way. He has 11 points, mostly coming off the fast break for Shawarma Shack.
And talking about those fast break points, coach, they also lead Statham Academy in that department 8-2.
And that's usually a category that the Statham Academy dominates, talking about the fast break points. But right here, again, the pace favoring Shawarma Shack. They've slowed it down and made Statham Academy very uncomfortable on the half court.
And we end the first quarter with... Second quarter of action now underway between Statham Academy and Shawarma Shack. And let's take a look at some stats here coming out of that first quarter. The three-point shooting for Statham Academy, only 4 of 13 from downtown. Meanwhile, Shawarma Shack, 2 for 3, so more judicious in their shot selection, coach.
Again, the pace has been for their liking. You know, they're getting out selectively on fast breaks. They're not always pushing the tempo, but they understand that slowing down and they're dropping into this zone. They're really limiting the options offensively for Statham Academy.
And Statham Academy only shooting 42% coming out of that first quarter. Uncharacteristic as opposed to Shawarma Shack, who's found the stroke, 60%, all because of those easy looks.
And led by James Castro, who's had a bunch of layups.
And when it comes to shot selection, you're better suited to follow the advice of our parents or our titos and titas when it comes to selecting partners. Collect and select.
And you're looking at a couple of stats that usually the Statham Academy dominates. As we said earlier, the fast break points belonging to Shawarma Shack, 8-2. And also, the points in the paint right now favoring Shawarma Shack, 14-4.
Taylor Statham hitting that last layup on the other end. He's got 7. A very quiet first quarter as well for Taylor Statham. 7 on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack. They go back to Domark Matiliano. Domark on the baseline. Found nothing but air. Taylor Statham on the run. And that's rejected by Montilla.
Mac Montilla. He's had a couple of highlight rejections all tournament long. You know, he doesn't seem to be playing a certain position. Or see the defensive play of the game brought to you by Decathlon. Mac Montilla rejecting the much bigger Taylor Statham. And as I said, he's more of a Swiss Army knife kind of guy. He can fill in multiple positions. He can play the point, put him on the wing, maybe played the small ball 4 position as well.
And Montilla gave up 6 inches there on Taylor Statham. And he's no spring chicken either, which is not to disrespect Montilla. He's 37 years old, so trying to hang with the Taylor Statham was a challenge in and of itself as Shawarma Shack secures that rebound. Let's see what they come up with on this trip. Montilla thought about it, almost lost the ball. Travis DeVita, he's been a feisty defender throughout this tournament. Nice pass right there. Kenneth Asibar. And that ball just had too much mustard on it.
Would you call that a floater, Stan?
Well, the ball certainly did float for a moment.
It floated way out of bounds. Kenneth Asibar immediately looking at his hands.
Here's Isaac Davis at the controls here. They go to Taylor Statham and then Travis DeVita from the outside. And that whistle did not make Francis Camacho happy. He did say it was his bad, but that's going to lead to 3 free throws for Travis DeVita.
And that's the worst thing he can do. A shooter like Travis DeVita, he's been struggling. He hit a couple threes early, but he's missed a bunch of other shots. So you're giving him a little rhythm here from the free throw line. And not only that, you know, you're giving Statham Academy a chance to really collect themselves with this break.
And Travis DeVita doesn't get himself to the line very often, but that's only his first miss throughout this entire tournament.
Oh, we didn't jinx him or anything. We didn't say anything about his shooting percentages. But again, Travis DeVita, this is going to be important for him. In a game like this, which looks like it's going to be a grind out, every possession will count, and additional scorers for Statham Academy will be needed.
So DeVita goes 2 for 3 on that trip. Quick substitution here for Shawarma Shack. Francis Camacho taking a seat. Chris Menguez back in. Ike Akpuru's also back. He's matching up against Devin Funches in the post. Akpuru makes his move. Guzman with the rebound.
Good help there from Taylor Statham, understanding that Akpuru likes to go to the middle for that jump shot.
Funches, crisp pass to Statham. Steps back, corner 3, money.
What a tough shot from Taylor Statham. They did everything they could do to defend that shot, but just a great shot from Mr. Statham.
Parang pang horse yung tira ni Taylor Statham right there as Nino Ibanez just challenging the Statham Academy defense to get to the rack.
Oh, what a brave take from Nino Ibanez, understanding a shot blocker, Devin Funches, was right there.
Let's take a look at that Statham 3 again. Unbelievable move. And that move of the game was brought to you by CORSA motorcycle tires. Dominate the streets. Nino Ibanez good on that first free throw.
Oh, this is a big development for Statham Academy because that's the 3rd personal foul for Devin Funches. He's been holding down the fort as the primary 5 guy for Statham Academy. Now he's going to have to check out, and Statham Academy will have a relatively smaller lineup here.
Ibanez goes 2 for 2. So once again, we're down to a single possession game. Statham Academy now in the lead. Good ball movement. As per usual for Statham Academy, trying to look for that 3-pointer. Galupo with some space. To Travis DeVita from the left corner. Yes!
And that's how big that 3-point shot foul was for DeVita earlier. He found his rhythm, now able to knock down an open 3.
Travis DeVita, 2nd overall in 3-point field goals here in this tournament. And that last shot will tell you why. 14 on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack as we look at that Travis DeVita sweet stroke, and that 3-point shot of the game was brought to you by CORSA motorcycle tires. Dominate the streets. 5 on the shot clock here. Domark Matiliano getting fancy.
A great use of the mini Pinoy step by Matiliano to really throw off the defense there.
Taylor Statham from inside the arc, just answering back.
Poor transition defense from Shawarma Shack, very slow to get back, allowing Taylor Statham an easy shot.
Ibanez making a move here. They go to Menguez. And now Jamil Gabawan. Shot from the block. That's good. He's Jamil from the block.
No, Jamil Gabawan really has that 15-footer, 15 to 18-footer. So if you leave a little space for him there, that's an easy shot for him.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that he got as Isaac Davis misses that one. Ibanez pushing the pace here. Finds Matiliano. Matiliano stops, pops, and knocks it down.
You know, that's such a sweet stroke from Domark Matiliano. Very easy one-dribble pull-up for him.
And Statham Academy can sense that Shawarma Shack was about to get on a run. They call for time with 5:46 remaining here at the half.
Shawarma Shack's best placement in the Asiabasket franchise history. Assistant coach RJ Della says this is all thanks to the sponsors who have helped the players in their overall wellness. That's why they've been performing really well this season, and hopefully they get into the finals. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kim. Shawarma Shack really surprising us by making it to the semifinals here. And that's the beauty of our format here, because any team can just make a run and get hot. It's very similar to the March Madness formula in the NCAA, where a team can go on a Cinderella run. As we take a look at that Jabber drive of the game moments ago, brought to you by Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun.
And as you said, Stan, it only takes one win to really get your team going here in our tournament. And the Shawarma Shack getting hot at the right time.
It's kind of like what happened with the Benilde Blazers in our Las Piñas leg, where they had a disastrous record, 1-3 in the elimination phase, found themselves hot at the right moment, and then they found themselves head-to-head with Ateneo in the finals last July.
And as you said, all it takes is one win, and that Benilde Blazers team really struggled at the start. They're still looking for their identity, and when they got that first win, that confidence really just blew up.
Fast break here for Shawarma Shack. Good transition defense here, but Menguez with the opening inside.
Now you can see the patience that Shawarma Shack is playing with, especially defensively, staying in this 2-3 zone, negating the advantages of Statham Academy.
Isaac Eder from distance gets the lucky bounce and takes the lead right back.
And this is big if Eder can play his usual game. He averages almost 18 points per game when healthy. So this is a squatter that Statham Academy needs.
He's also shooting 35% from downtown as Ibanez hangs in the air and uses the glass.
Oh, that's a great pass from Jamil Gabawan. Seeing the cutter in Nino Ibanez.
Back and forth we go here as Galupo takes that three. Look at that quick release. Akpuru snatched that board. But he gets called for a foul instead. Oh no, that foul's going against Taylor Statham, so it's going to be Shawarma Shack ball.
So that Statham Academy front line is dealing with some foul trouble. That's the second foul for Taylor Statham. And Devin Funches is on the bench with 3 as well.
So Guzman, the nominal 5 right here, as opposed to Shawarma Shack that has a real center in Aikapuru. Gabawan, he's so fancy, you already know.
So Jamil Gabawan, again, he's a very good interior scorer when he gets that kind of momentum. And Galupo takes a hard one from Gabawan.
And that's something that Statham Academy is learning from their experience here in the Philippines, how physical the basketball here is. As we take a look at that assist of the game to Chris Menguez, brought to you by Fiberblaze, nothing beats local. Jamil Gabawan is recognizing that Menguez was able to make the cut. But going back to Statham Academy, discovering how physical we play here in the Philippines, Kevin Dasom, who's on the bench right now, actually provided them the scouting report because he's had experience playing here in the Philippines, playing with Filipinos across the region in his native Thailand. And he was the one giving Statham Academy the lowdown on how they should expect to get hit pretty well while they're playing in the Philippines.
Well, they should. They are expected, or they did expect that they would get hit a lot and get hit hard being a new team here in Asiabasket.
1 point, that's what separates both teams. We'll be right back with more first half action. .416 remaining here in the first half. Shawarma Shack up by 1. They have really hung against Statham Academy as we present the fans of the game, brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets.
Well, that zone defense has really prevented Statham Academy from getting any kind of offensive rhythm. Statham Academy settled for a lot of three-point shots. Right now, they've taken 17, they've made 7. So this is what's really keeping them in the game, because the Shawarma Shack has dominated what usually belongs to Statham Academy. Points in the paint, 22-6 for Shawarma Shack.
14 on the shot clock as Ike Akpuru was calling for it. No look pass to Jamil Gabawan. They go back to Akpuru. Nice two-man game. Taken away. Ibanez pushes it up and in.
It's good to be at the right place at the right time for Nino Ibanez, just picking up the basketball and shooting that easy floater for 2 points.
3-point game here. And you know Statham Academy is looking to get those 3 points back. Kevin Dasoms checked in here for Statham Academy. And after several attempts, Shawarma Shack, great defense on that last sequence.
Again, the zone defense being employed by the guys in blue, really working wonders for them, limiting possessions for Statham Academy.
And that 2-3 zone, as Cardinal Official once said, is bad to the bone. Taylor Statham to Ethan Chong, who takes a hard fall.
It's a scary spill there by Ethan Chong, but he does push-ups to the delight of the Dasmariñas crowd.
That's his way of saying he's okay.
Ethan Chong getting the hometown treatment from the fans.
Let's take a look at this nasty spill. Ooh, that did not look good. It hurt just watching it. But we're glad he's okay, and he calmly sinks that first free throw.
Again, another tough fall for a Statham Academy player. Remember, in the first quarter, Devin Funches took a spill and hasn't walked right since.
Ethan Chong, 6'2", only 176 pounds. A bit of a wiry frame here for this shooting guard. Ibanez trying to set something up here. For 3 now, Nino Ibanez into the hands of Statham. Kevin Dasom on the break. They go to Guzman, and Guzman throws it to the bench.
Or maybe if there was Devin Funches, he could have caught that. But fortunately, Guzman passed to a smaller Isaac Ater.
Shawarma Shack downsizing now. Justin Alano back in for Ike Akpuru.
And if you've noticed, Shawarma Shack has really made a concerted effort to get the ball in the post and generate offense from that position, forcing this double team from Statham Academy.
Gabawan making a move, but Ethan Chong takes it away. Statham on the break to Eter. Eter with a layup through the defense, wala pa rin. And now Shawarma Shack, their own fast break. Nice bounce pass there. Justin Alano in the paint through 2 defenders. Can't will it in. Taylor Statham with a rebound, but that's deflected by Ibanez.
You know, despite the miss, that's the type of shots that Shawarma Shack really wants. You see them really looking for those cutters. And Alano just very unfortunate that he missed that gimme in the paint.
A little over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. 5 on the floor for Statham Academy. You've got Davis, Chong, Statham, Funches, and Dasom. Statham down low. Really being bothered by Justin Alano. Statham again. And that's going to be a foul.
Taylor Statham learning his lesson. This first cut of that great pass by Devin Funches, he still had to fake, giving Alano enough time to recover. On that second try, he went up straight with power, drawing the foul from Justin Alano.
Travis DeVita checking back in here. Kevin Dasma takes a seat. Taylor Statham only shooting 4 for 10. So he's being contained by this Shawarma Shack squad. Normally, he'd be on his way to 20 at this point. He's only got 13.
Well, Shawarma Shack understands that you really can't stop, Taylor Statham from scoring. He will get his points. But you can slow him down the same way the Pilipinas Aguilas did in that upset victory over Statham Academy.
Clearly, Shawarma Shack is doing something right. They understood the assignment, and they're hanging tough against Statham Academy, who's been one of the favorites to win this entire tournament. Castro able to save it there. DeVita left behind. Ibanez from inside the arc. Can't get that one to fall. And look at the defense for Shawarma Shack. Scared DeVita from taking that three, forcing Statham to set things up. Taylor Statham with the floater. That's automatic for Statham.
And he did such a great job just delaying his sprint down the floor. Obviously, he's a bit winded, but he took his time reading the defense, and a great spin move to a hook shot there.
Alano matching up against Funches, giving up so much size. They go back to Alano down in the post this time. Time running out. Alano, no good. Cleanup duty for Kenneth Asibar.
And one thing we didn't see there was Alano pushing off Taylor Statham to get Asibar open for that putback.
Look at that steal from Ibanez. He's running, and he beats everyone to the hole. That's a go-ahead bucket for Shawarma Shack.
Great anticipation by Nino Ibanez, shooting the passing lane there.
About 9 seconds separating shot clock and game clock here. And Devin Funches throws that one out of bounds. So Statham Academy, they've been turning the ball over quite a lot here. Uncharacteristic performance for the white shirts. And let's take a look at that move of the game from Taylor Statham, brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. So Devin Funches at the line, he drew a foul as we showed you that last replay.
And again, you have to credit the coaching staff of Shawarma Shack. They understand that majority of the creation for offense from Statham Academy comes from their attack in the paint. And then it starts to flow out to the three-point shot. So they're stopping these attempts in the paint by Statham Academy. Right now, they're giving up a lot of three-point shots, but they can live with that. Just not allowing these bigs of Statham Academy to really dominate the game.
We're knotted at 47 right here. 18 seconds left in this first half. Last 18 seconds here in the first half. Shawarma Shack has been making a statement at the expense of Statham Academy. It seems like they've been able to figure out the puzzle. And look at our fans showing some appreciation for Ethan Chung, who has stood out as a heartthrob from the Statham Academy lineup.
Ethan Chung really making a name for himself on the court and off the court, apparently.
Lots of love from the fans here in Dasmariñas. Nagpapasalamat po kami sa City of Dasmariñas for the warm welcome for Asiabasket at sa pagtangkilik dito sa aming liga. Here's Justin Alano just banging down low. Gets his own miss. And he's just trapped. Kicks it out to Montilla. 3 seconds left. And with about 6/10 of a second remaining, Statham Academy has a shot at a Hail Mary. to borrow from Clean Bandit and Jesglyn. It's a shot in the dark, but it looks like they'll take it. Let's see what they're planning to do here as our referees try to determine which side of the court possession will be for the final 0.6 of a second.
They could go for a Hail Mary pass down to Devin Funches if he's on the floor. You know, Funches wouldn't be a stranger to a full court pass. I'm sure he's received a few passes from Cam Newton downfield, not down court, excuse me, downfield.
On a crossover tayo across sports, which is very. It's really been the story of Devin Funches throughout this tournament. And we see the 5 on the floor for both squads heading towards the Statham Academy side. So it is indeed Statham Academy possession. Taylor Statham now the trigger man.
A bunch of shooters right there in the paint trying to get open.
And the Som catches it in time, but he was clearly bothered by Mac Montilla. And we end the half where we started, with neither team with an advantage. Statham Academy and Shawarma Shack at 47. Let's take a look at some of those highlights from that second quarter, Coach.
Again, the three-point shot has been the main weapon for Statham Academy. They're shooting 7 of 17 from three-point line. That's good for 41%. And that's been the number one source of offense for them, because usually they're dominating inside the paint, but not this time, because Shawarma Shack leading points in the paint 26-8, thanks to the guys like Jamil Gabawan and Ken Asibar.
And everything seems to be going the way of Shawarma Shack right now, because they're hanging in there against a very tough opponent. Now, let's get some insight from Statham Academy. Austin Galupo is standing by with our Kimberly Mas.
Thank you so much, Stan. Austin, this game is closer than what we all anticipated. What is Shawarma Shack doing right in this game?
They're a very well and very coached team. They're very disciplined also, so that's given us, some problems, whereas some of the other teams try to just get up and down very quickly, and they're not as composed or well coached. And as well as boxing out on the rebounds, they're very nitty gritty. They're hitting us, they're getting us under the board. So that's just something we got to keep fighting for in the second half.
And speaking of the second half, how will you guys close this game strong?
Just by continuing to be as physical as they are, keeping on the boards, hitting some of our, little bunnies that we're just missing right now, and hopefully that'll come through for us in the end.
All right. Good luck, Austin. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kim. We'll be right back with the second half of action. We're knotted at 47 here in the city of Dasmariñas.
Life is the will to power. The desire to dominate and reshape the world, to conquer, to reign, to rule the streets. The challenge awaits. Will you answer the call and dominate with total control? Unleashing the supreme CORSA with excellent grip and handling performance. Designed for longer mileage and extended durability. Optimum balance for your daily riding. The Supreme itself, muscle of the road. CORSA. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties. Strengthened by love. For better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase. The future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. Life is the will to power. The desire to dominate and reshape the world, to conquer, to reign, to rule the streets. The challenge awaits. Will you answer the call and dominate with total control? Unleashing the supreme CORSA with excellent grip and handling performance. Designed for longer mileage and extended durability. Optimum balance for your daily riding. The Supreme itself, muscle of the road. CORSA. Life is the will to power. The desire to dominate and reshape the world, to conquer, to reign, to rule the streets. The challenge awaits. Will you answer the call and dominate with total control? Unleashing the supreme CORSA with excellent grip and handling performance. Designed for longer mileage and extended durability. Optimum balance for your daily riding. The Supreme itself, muscle of the road. CORSA. We live in an interconnected world, a shared past, present, and future, connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase. The future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties. Strengthened by love. For better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change. To support one another. To bring kindness where there is pain.
It's halftime now. Scores tied at 47 between Statham Academy and Shawarma Shack. I'm here with assistant coach RJ Deles. So last time you played for Shawarma Shack, you're now an assistant coach. You guys seem to be keeping up with Statham Academy. Do you guys plan to keep this game close up until the second quarter?
The difference between our team and the other teams, we plan to keep it a slow-paced game. Make sure that we don't give them too many buckets on the fast break layups and to continue our defense.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys talked about this. What did you guys tell your players before heading into the second half?
Coach Cesar and Coach Raymond reminded the players to be patient on the breaks, be patient, and to share the ball more for this game.
Good luck on the second half, RJ and Shawarma Shack. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kim. A very familiar face to us here in Asiabasket, RJ Deles. He did suit up for the Shawarma Shack squad back in Kuala Lumpur. But as we head into the second half, let's take a look at the highlights from that first half, which really saw Shawarma Shack hang with Statham Academy.
Well, James Castro actually started incredibly well for Shawarma Shack. He had 11 points in the first quarter, sat out for quite a bit in the second quarter. But Domark Mateliano, Justin Alano, Jamil Gabawan really picked up the slack for him in the second quarter. Keeping this game close, keeping the pace slow, as assistant coach RJ Deles said in that interview.
Coach Mark, I know you love your stats, so what were the key ones coming out of that first half?
First, the one that really stands out is points in the paint. Something, as I've been repeating in the first half, something that the Statham Academy has been dominating this whole tournament long. But here, Shawarma Shack absolutely taking advantage of their more capable bigs in the paint. 26-8 in terms of points in the paint. And as you see the overall field goals here, Shawarma Shack shooting very well, 56%. But Statham Academy, making up for lost time with their three-point field goal, 7 out of 17, good for 41%. And again, surprisingly, the fast break points belonging to Shawarma Shack. We know, and people who watch Statham Academy, they know that Statham Academy likes to get out on the fast break and get those easy dunks in transition. So that is something that Shawarma Shack has really keyed on for their defense.
And now our game highs, we've got Taylor Statham leading in points and boards. Isaac Davis, as we predicted, would be setting the pace here for the assists. And Mac Montilla, all 6'1" of him, with 2 blocks to lead everyone in that particular category.
And that's the type of player Mac Montilla is. He can hit the 3, you can plug him as a small ball forward. He'll do everything for your team, and he's showing what he can do defensively, leading the way with 2 blocks.
Statham Academy headed into this Final Four round as one of the favorites to make it to the finals, but it seems like this Shawarma Shack squad could be their toughest opponent yet.
Shawarma Shack, and kudos to their coaching staff. They have done a great job preparing for this game. Probably went through a ton of Statham Academy film in the past couple of days, so they understand the strengths of Statham Academy, and if they're really taking that away from them.
Nino Ibanez handling the rock here. They go to Akpuru. 3-point shot for Menguez. No good. Funches with the rebound.
You can see really the pace, just a very deliberate pace being set by Shawarma Shack.
Good deflection there as Shawarma Shack takes it away from Statham, who was expecting to feast inside once again.
And you can see Gabawan just really holding the ball, but Ibanez taking advantage of the miscommunication from Statham Academy while they were trying to locate players, driving straight down the hole, drawing a foul.
So that's the 3rd on Taylor Statham. Again, the foul trouble just plaguing Statham. Meanwhile, Nino Ibanez, he had 10 points in the first half, 2 of 2 at the line. Let's see if he can maintain this pristine free throw percentage. And just like that, he's no longer spotless from the charity stripe.
Oh, that's on you, Stan. But Ibanez, him, Matellano, and Castro have been the proponents of this slower pace for Shawarma Shack. They've picked their spots very well on offense.
5 on the floor for Statham Academy. You've got Taylor Statham, Devin Funches, Isaac Davis, Jonathan Guzman, and Travis DeVita. Shawarma Shack on the run as they steal another possession away from Statham Academy. Here's Menguez on the drive. Got deflected there, picked it back up, out to James Castro. Nice pass there, and that little floater is good for Chris Menguez. 3-point lead for Shawarma Shack, and Statham Academy wants to burn a quick timeout here.
I'm not happy with how they started the 3rd quarter. Statham Academy very slow off the gates.
Very crafty assist there from James Castro, finding Chris Menguez for that easy push shot. Not even a minute into the second half, Shawarma Shack got off to a quick start, and that forced Statham Academy to use a timeout early on. Devin Funches from the baseline. That was way off. Taylor Statham for 3. And Guzman was trying to tip it in. Ran into a Menguez forearm.
And that's more of the Statham Academy that we've seen the past few days. The ball moving from side to side, very patient offense from them, finding open guys on the perimeter. Mostly in the first half, there's a lot of one-and-done possessions for them.
12 on the shot clock here for Statham Academy. And they dump it to Funches, who gets rejected by Akpuru, deflected. And Guzman can't tip it in. Statham, surprised there, no lucky bounce. Set away by Ibanez. Taylor Statham still on the floor here. Devin Funches, that mid-range J rattles out. Credit Shawarma Shack for the activity there.
Credit for their activity, definitely. But Taylor Statham looks like he could have tweaked that ankle. He's trying to play through it, but you can see he's feeling it right now.
And Statham is acting like the de facto 5 right now as well. Because Akpuru is forcing Funches to step away from the paint here. And you can see in the way that Taylor Statham moves, he's clearly affected by that last spill. 12 on the shot clock here. Akpuru on Statham. Nice pass to Guzman.
And the last few possessions coming off that timeout, it's been a lot better for Statham Academy. The ball movement a lot crisper.
Only the 3rd dime so far for Taylor Statham, who averages about 5.6, 5.7 a game. What a move there from Nino Ibanez. He's got a team-high 13.
And that's the problem when you draw out Devin Funches. Taylor Statham, not really a known shot blocker.
Jonathan Guzman gets that lucky roll.
A great pass there from Isaac Davis. You know, Isaac Davis doesn't really play a lot of minutes, but he's always up there with the assists.
Jonathan Guzman, we've seen him end the hops, but just try to keep it simple there. Shawarma Shack just going inside out. Here's Akpuru from the elbow. Rebound Guzman. And Isaac Davis. And I believe that's James Castro. Mixing it up there.
As we go along here, and we understand that this game looks like it's going to be one of those grind-out playoff games, you'll see the hits getting harder here, especially inside the paint. And if this game does get into the deep water, so they say, you know, expect these fouls to really hurt more.
Here's Statham making his move. That floater off the mark. And it will stay with Statham Academy here with 14 on the shot clock.
You can see the difference there from Taylor Statham, the way he moves. He usually has one more dribble after that shot fake, but that ankle must be kind of hurting right now for him to settle for that awkward floater.
So the ball goes to Shawarma Shack here after our officials conferred with one another. Really crowding Shawarma Shack here. And Gabawan is looking for a bailout there, couldn't find one.
And you can see Shawarma Shack really trying to get the ball in the post and play off that. Good rotation there by Statham Academy.
Nice passing here from Statham Academy. Gabawan just sticking to his man here. Akpuru, good help on D. Unable to corral the rebound though. That's gonna cost them. 8 seconds on the shot clock as Devita calling for his spots. Funches, no look past the Statham. Guzman from the baseline. It's going to be Shawarma Shack ball.
Again, much more patient offense from Statham Academy, but they've been a few looks there that they could have gotten or could have taken for easier shots compared to the last shot by Guzman.
Low scoring quarter here. Shawarma Shack has only scored 5 after that quick start. Statham Academy has only scored 4. Ibanez tried to get fancy with that pass. They go back to Ibanez with a layup.
The off-ball defense hasn't just been there for Statham Academy. They're very slow to rotate, and that easy backdoor cut by Ibanez shows why.
What a give-and-go play between Ibanez and Gabawan as Statham misses that 3. Devin Funches with the active hands gets that loose ball, throws it up, and then sends himself to the foul line for another pair of charities.
And that's the advantage of having a bigger front line. You have Funches, Statham, and Guzman. They've been trying to get the ball in the paint for easy shots.
Let's take a look at that give-and-go play once again between Gabawan and Nino Ibanez, and that assist of the game was brought to you by Fiberblaze. Nothing beats local.
Jabil Gabawan has had a couple of good dimes here throughout the end of the game. He's got 5 assists, so that's a good number coming from essentially your power forward / center.
There's a look at Coach Phil Roman having a conversation with Isaac Davis as Devin Funches looks to go 2 for 2 at the line. So Funches goes to the bench. Galupo takes his spot. Guzman also down to the bench. Austin Galupo's back in. So Statham Academy is downsizing here.
They're trying to get their pace quicker with this smaller lineup, but Taylor Statham, again, working with 3 fouls. Now he has to defend Ike Akpuru, who will definitely bring him outside. So Statham Academy has to be ready for those back cuts and post-ups from Shawarma Shack.
And what's interesting here is that for a team like Shawarma Shack, they have the luxury of being able to prepare for Statham Academy. And it's something that caught their earlier opponents by surprise, which probably contributed to Statham Academy having these blowout wins. And it's not to discount the fact that they've been shooting very well from the floor. They have been, but Shawarma Shack is coming into this with 5 games worth of tape to study.
And right there, Stan, there's a lot more tape to study for Shawarma Shack compared to their other teams who probably saw Statham Academy just for the first time ever.
Ethan Chong went inside, missed that one, and a single shot opportunity here for Shawarma Shack, for Statham Academy.
Chong would have been better served taking that open 3. He was in rhythm when he caught that basketball.
Mac Montillas also checked in here for Shawarma Shack. Ike Akpuru with a drive, trapped there against 3 defenders. Instead, he goes to the foul line. So a very quiet night so far for Ike Akpuru. Only 2 points and 4 rebounds so far.
They haven't needed the scoring, really. But what Akpuru has brought was a lot of playmaking. As we saw in the first half, every time he got the ball in the post, he was able to create open shots for his teammates, feeding Gabawan and Mengiz, and eventually James Castro from the outside.
Ike Akpuru, who played at Murray State College before he played for TIP here in the Philippines. Murray State College, that's a community college based in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. $15 on the shot clock here for Statham Academy, trying to bait Shawarma Shack into making a mistake on defense. Akpuru had a hand in Galupo's face. Good defense there from Akpuru on back-to-back shots. And Shawarma Shack gets rewarded for that defensive effort. Let's take a look at that defensive play of the game, once again brought to you by Decathlon. Akpuru just bothering Ethan Chong there.
And the reviewers have to understand that Shawarma Shack essentially playing with just one world import with Chubueze Ike. Not playing today. He didn't play yesterday as well, nursing an injury.
Akpuru, he's got some moves. Hangs in the air, couldn't get that one to go. Galupo, he's led everyone here on the break. No lucky bounce for Austin Galupo. It's just not his night.
Well, Austin Galupo will take it anytime. Get to the free throw line, probably try to get his rhythm as a shooter.
And when you're trying to get your rhythm as a shooter, is it better to keep forcing up your shots from the mid-range or from the outside, or to drive and get yourself hot from the foul line?
Essentially, a good tactic would be what Austin Galupo is doing here, getting to the free throw line and finding his touch. But anytime you're a shooter like Galupo or Devita, you just take what you can get. Anytime you see that ball go in the basket, that gives you a lot more confidence.
Austin Galupo goes 2 for 2 there. And that brings us back to a deadlock at 55. Domark Matilianos back in his first minutes of the second half. There's an opening. That's a 3. And that is good for Camacho.
Shawarma Shack has taken just 7 threes, but they made 3. So that's a good percentage for them.
Statham Academy swinging it around. Austin Galupo from the outside.
See what a couple free throws can do for a shooter like Austin Galupo. Now you can see it in his face. He's locked in.
That's 10 for Galupo here. Over 3 minutes remaining in the third. Time running out here on this Shawarma Shack possession. Asibar is able to bait his defender there. So that ball will stay with Shawarma Shack with 0.2 of a second, 0.2.
Oh, that's great switching there by Statham Academy. They understood that Shawarma Shack did a lot of dribble handoffs, so that's an easy switching for Statham Academy.
But first, let's take a look at those threes back-to-back from Austin Galupo and then Francis Camacho as we send it over to Kimberly Mas.
Thank you, Stan. The secret to closing the gap, according to Coach Mabasa, is to get those 2 points because they know that Statham will try to go for those 3-pointers. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kimberly Mas, for that insight from the sidelines of the Shawarma Shack. Still knotted at 58, but that alley-oop from Guzman breaks that tie. Statham Academy needed a momentum-setting play like that.
Almost thought that was a 3-point shot from Isaac Davis. Not until Guzman picked it up for that alley-oop.
And they've been doing that since last night, Coach. Up and under move from Domar Matiliano.
Domar Matiliano just having his way with the Statham Academy guards.
Guzman, nice pass to Dasma, picked up. Here's Montilla. And this is a veteran lineup on the floor here for Shawarma Shack between Matiliano, Alano, Asibar, Montilla, and Camacho. Sent that shot back.
And it's not like these guys are strangers to each other.
But first, let's take a look at the move of the game brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. Domar Matiliano through the defense, up and under with the left hand.
And again, going back to my point, these 5 guys from Shawarma Shack, it's not like this is their first time playing with each other. They have faced each other in different leagues, but a lot of them also have been teammates for other teams. So, you know, the familiarity is right there. For Shawarma Shack, they're not a bunch of players just put together last minute. This is a cohesive unit for the guys in blue.
And that's in contrast to Statham Academy. Some of them are actually new pieces meeting each other for the first time between Kevin Dasma and Joshua Webb. These are guys who are unfamiliar with a lot of these players that Taylor Statham has brought in. I was talking to Kevin Dasma earlier. That's something that he shared, the challenge of coming into a tournament midway and integrating yourself into a team that you basically do not know.
And that's the challenge really for a team like the Statham Academy. You know, and a lot of them, as Kevin Dasma mentioned, this is their first time playing professionally in any type of league. So the challenges they're facing here, not just the jet lag and the unfamiliarity with the enemies or the other teams, excuse me, but the unfamiliarity with each other and their own styles of play.
And there's also the unfamiliarity with Philippine basketball, something that only Dasma, Statham, and Webb really know very well about, having experienced it themselves. For a lot of these Statham Academy players, it's their first time to really experience the trademark physicality of Philippine basketball, which we hear from a lot of international commentators and players.
And not only that, it's also how the game is being officiated here in the Philippines. It's a lot more different when you're used to playing in the US, where they really let go of a lot of handshake calls. CC officials conferring whether or not the ball stays with Shawarma Shack.
And this official review is brought to you by the bringer of news, features, and scoops in the world of hoops. Follow Hoop Junkie on your favorite social media platform.
One of my favorite Instagram accounts to follow, Hoop Junkie. When you need your daily dose of basketball highlights and good times, it's Hoop Junkie.
Nilang basketball highlights, even slice of life posts.
Slice of life.
Adjacent to basketball. I remember during the FIBA World Cup, our Patrick Edrozo, Mr. Hoop Junkie himself, had a lot of interesting posts of the international fans who have made waves on social media. The Serbian fans were really rowdy along the streets of EDSA, carrying the Serbian flag when Serbia qualified for the final game. A lot of classics on that social media platform.
Referees really making sure that they get this call right. It looks like it's going to stay with the guys in blue. I stand corrected.
So it will stay, it will go to Shawarma Shack, because apparently it was last touch Justin Alano. Galupo firing from the outside again. Like we said, this man has no conscience. Shawarma Shack got lucky there.
Austin Galupo really likes to shoot from here in Dasmariñas.
Alano gets his own miss, but Vita picks it up. Fast break here. Galupo, the Dasom draws the foul. He's going to the line.
You know, despite how well Shawarma Shack has played them, and Statham Academy still just tied at 60, and this hasn't been their best game, arguably the whole tournament, but they're still in it with the chance to lead the game.
First shot is good for Kevin Dasom. These are actually his first points in the tournament.
Kevin Dasom really more of a super role player, prioritizing his defense, but anytime you get some offense from him, that's a big bonus for Statham Academy.
Kevin Dasom, a well-traveled veteran of the Thailand basketball scene, as the outlet pass finds its way to a basket from Domar Matiliano. Credit the assist to Montilla with the outlet.
Matiliano with the jelly finish.
And Shawarma Shack back up. Both teams just trading big punches. Isaac Davis, that one's short. Fresh 14 for Statham Academy. Galupo straight away. Rebound Camacho.
Austin Galupo has missed a couple of good looks here.
Less than a minute remaining here in the third quarter. And Montilla got too excited on that pass to Camacho.
And that's a pass that I think even the big show can catch.
Let's take a look at that last basket from Domar Matiliano. That move of the game was brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. About 18 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Galupo throws it up. Asibar rebound. Shot clock still in play here. About 4 or 5 seconds separating both. Montilla finds himself in the corner. It's Matiliano. Takes that shot from the mid-range. Alano, offensive rebound and cleans it up. And time runs out here in the third quarter. Justin Alano with a final save for Shawarma Shack. And they're up by 3 at the end of the third quarter. So this third quarter mirroring the first quarter in the sense that Shawarma Shack exited both up by 3.
Again, it's the lack of rebounding right now for Statham Academy, and the interior presence of Justin Alano, Ken Asibar, and the rest of the Shawarma Shack bigs dominating here in the game.
Shawarma Shack up by 3 as we head to the fourth. Another look at our fans of the game brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. No better way to spend your Friday night than with some Friday night hoops here in the city of Dasmariñas. Stan C alongside Coach Mark Dandan calling the action for the semi-final round of the 2023 CORSA Tires Asiabasket Championship Dasmariñas.
And right now, Statham Academy going to the bigger front line once again. Rebounding-wise, at the end of the first half, we were Shawarma Shack was up 1 rebound, but right now they're up by 6, 35-29. Credit to their front line for really getting it done.
And Taylor Statham just forcing his way to that last basket. 1-point game once again. Guzman taking it away. Taylor Statham was on the trail. Free throw line floater is good. And Statham Academy with a go-ahead bucket.
Taylor Statham, no wasted motion right there. Very efficient with all his movement.
Instant offense from Taylor Statham. That's his calling card. Domar Matiliano couldn't put the moves on. Suddenly, Statham Academy's been injected with life, and Jonathan Guzman just sailed in for that alley-oop layup. 3-point lead for Statham Academy. Shawarma Shack has seen enough. Take a look at that alley-oop once again. Jonathan Guzman just flying in, and Isaac Davis setting his teammate up with a perfect finish. Oh, how quickly the tables have turned here between Shawarma Shack and Statham Academy in less than a minute of action here in the fourth quarter. Statham Academy has seized a 3-point lead.
No, that 6-0 run to start by Statham Academy, fueled by a faster pace generated by their defense and the hustle like that by Devin Funches.
And what could have lit a fire under the bellies of Statham Academy during that break?
No, you saw them huddle during that third quarter break. They're really getting into each other, you know, because Shawarma Shack really has been very physical, especially inside the paint.
3 seconds left here. Justin Alano lost control of the ball. It will go to Statham Academy. Alano is calling for a review there.
And looks like he's going to get his wish. Referees will review that last out-of-bounds play. Justin Alano was very adamant to get that replay.
And if you're Shawarma Shack, every possession will matter more, especially now that we're in the fourth. You're in a close game. You've been doing your best to really hit Statham Academy with everything you've got and then some.
Oh, they've done their best, especially defensively with that zone. Trying to bang with the, right now, which is a bigger front line for the guys in white.
Now this official review is brought to you by the bringer of news, features, and scoops in the world of hoops. Follow Hoop Junkie on your favorite social media platform. Our refs have come to a decision. And it looks like the ball stays with Shawarma Shack, so they've got 1.7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Credit Justin Alano for actually fighting for it. They go inside. Asibar, it went off of him. They have 0.4 of a second. And going back to Justin Alano, he really embodied the words, kapag may katwiran, ipaglaban mo. Three-pointer, Ibanez from the corner, in and out. Alano got rejected, but Asibar to Alano. Credit the active hands there, but Statham Academy finally takes it away. Steal, Nino Ibanez. Ibanez on the run. To the other side, here's Domar Matiliano. 12 seconds here for Shawarma Shack. They've been hanging in there. Matiliano with a drive, nice pass to Alano, who had his own opening.
That's just poor one-on-one defense for Statham Academy, letting Matiliano get into the paint and throw the defense.
Taylor Statham, Alano just swiped him on that last defensive play.
And the physicality has really turned up here in the second half, Stan. The fouls have really been very tough.
And let's take a look at that Justin Alano basket, courtesy of Domar Matiliano on the dish. That move of the game brought to you by CORSA motorcycle tires. Dominate the streets. 16 seconds to shoot here. Taylor Statham hitting the floor. Shawarma Shack with another fast break opportunity. Nino Ibanez lays it in. He's got 17. Sorry, that was Domar Matiliano.
Matiliano again using his left hand to finish over traffic.
Funches from the baseline. He was wide open there.
Oh, that shot has been there all night long for Devin Funches. That 15-footer from the baseline.
They've been trading the lead back and forth here. Quite a fiery start to our fourth quarter. Ibanez blocked by Funches. Now, we have an update from the sidelines. Let's bring back Kimberly Mas. What do you have for us, Kim?
Thank you, Stan. The tensions are high in Statham Academy's bench as it was actually Devin Funches that tried to lift the team's spirit up before heading into this fourth quarter. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kim, for that update. Great to hear that it was Devin Funches, who's a longtime pro. Of course, he played in the NFL. He knows the pro sports circuit very, very well, knows the environment, and you have to have that veteran presence, that leader, to really be the one to spark that motivation for your team.
No, especially as we said earlier, there are a lot of guys here playing professional for the first time. So Devin Funches has been there. He's done that. So he's going to be the leader for this team.
And Taylor Statham, their scoring leader, he's got 21 points off of that floater. Another go-ahead bucket.
A big development right here. Taylor Statham playing with 4 fouls. So he's going to have to be careful for the next 7 minutes of the fourth.
And if you're Shawarma Shack, you really want to bait Taylor Statham into getting fouled out with so much time remaining. Ike Akpuru tried to drive. Ball got deflected. And now James Castro checking back in for Domar Matiliano. 6 seconds to shoot here for Shawarma Shack.
And
got Menguez on the inbound.
First appearance for Joshua Webb coming in for Taylor Statham. This is going to be big minutes for him.
Shawarma Shack has to shoot, and they have to shoot now. They weren't aware of how much time they had left on the shot clock, coach.
Oh, Menguez wasn't really looking at the shot clock. He was looking for someone to pass to. Wasn't ready to take that shot.
In a heat up, when you're in that situation, it's a pressure scenario, pressure-filled scenario where time is running out. You need to make a basket. Very tight and closely contested contest, or game rather.
And Menguez probably not used to getting the basketball at that kind of position.
Joshua Webb, they were using him as a fulcrum there. Jonathan Guzman, nice move to the rack.
And Isaac Davis has been finding Jonathan Guzman along that baseline successfully the whole game.
That's the 10th assist of the game for Isaac Davis, who's still scoreless, but has been a playmaking machine here for Statham Academy. Ike Akpuru going back to James Castro. Castro had a bit of a lift, couldn't push it in. Now here's Funches to Guzman. Shawarma Shack containing that Statham Academy fast break. De Vita from the outside. He's got 14. And that's the 9th 3 of the game for Statham Academy. Five minutes, 38 remaining here in regulation. Statham Academy looking to pull away here, but Shawarma Shack, they better have an answer on this possession. Jamil Gabawan fading away and using the backboard.
Jamil Gabawan has had timely shots, not just the assists, timely shots to keep Shawarma Shack here in the game.
5 points separating both teams. Travis De Vida for 3. Rebound Ibanez. They were waiting for Ike Akpuru, who was trailing. Tried to dump it to Jamil Gabawan, but then there's another call here.
Oh, Shawarma Shack really taking advantage of all this switching by Statham Academy, looking for those mismatches down in the post.
Let's take a look at that three-point shot of the game from Travis De Vita, who was just set in his spot. And that three-point shot of the game was brought to you by CORSA motorcycle tires. Dominate the streets. Akpuru setting up shop. Funches fell for it. Ball stays with the Shawarma Shack.
Just appreciate the footwork there by Akpuru, trying to wheel around an athlete like Devin Funches, who's no slouch himself when it comes to footwork.
11 seconds to shoot here for Shawarma Shack. Akpuru inside, tried to surprise Funches. And Akpuru just lost it, picked up by Joshua Webb. Fast break here. to Guzman, who wasn't in the best position, but Travis DeVita might be. Yes, he was. Big three here for Statham Academy. And Shawarma Shack could be dropping the ball. Inside, that's good for Jamil Gabawan. 12 points for him.
Jamil Gabawan has had the answer every time. Statham Academy looked like they were going to break away. Gabawan with the answer.
Joshua Webb to Funches. Couldn't fake his man. Davis for three. That's his first basket. And Statham Academy has jumped out to a 9-point lead. Signature Statham Academy.
Signature indeed, the #1 weapon in this game. The three-point shot has been there.
And that three-point shot of the game was brought to you by CORSA motorcycle tires. Dominate the streets. Isaac Davis, who's been quiet in terms of scoring, picked no better time to put himself on the board right there. We're inviting everyone once again to our Music Fest ngayong linggo, November 12, here at the Dasmariñas Arena. Nobita, Mayonnaise, Al James, our headliners. Tickets still available at Ticket Melon, but you can also purchase tickets as you walk in. And if you buy them by tomorrow, you can get 2 tickets for the price of 1 kasi pwede rin yung gamitin for our Battle for Third, our awarding ceremonies, and our championship game, which will be taking place tomorrow. We are inside the 4-minute mark here in regulation. Travis DeVita looked like he got hit there a few seconds ago. Shot clock is at 9. Jamil Gabawan with a nice spin move and the layup.
Again, Gabawan showing off the footwork down in the post, not afraid of the bigger front line for Statham Academy.
Taylor Statham, medyo hinawi na yung defender niya dun. And they're having words here, Gabawan, Alano, and Statham.
Again, as we predicted, things are going to get chippy, especially coming down here, down the wire. Only a 7-point lead for Statham Academy.
Let's take a look at that spin move from Gabawan. Went through Guzman and Taylor Statham. Ball stays here with Statham Academy. Alano probably got hit by that deflection on the way down.
And Justin Alano proving he's no slouch defending the post against the bigger Taylor Statham.
Less than 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Isaac Davis pulls up and fades. No good. Montilla with the board.
One of the rare times in the second half that the offense has been one and done for Statham Academy.
Statham Academy has outscored Shawarma Shack 21-11 here, and you see that the confidence just hasn't been there for Shawarma Shack in this 4th quarter.
And they have to be thankful to Jamil Gabawan, who's really keeping them in this game. Without those crucial 6 points, they could have been down 13 points at this juncture in our 4th quarter.
Gabawan is searching for options there. Finds Matiliano. Matiliano down low. DeVita really distracting him there. They're on the run. Austin Galupo for 3. Lucky miss if you're a Shawarma Shack fan.
Austin Galupo should have shot that with a little more wisdom there. They didn't really need that early 3-point shot.
Under 3 minutes remaining here. Nino Ibanez threw it up. Couldn't find the bottom of the net. Here's Isaac Davis. They go back to Guzman on the post. Statham has been playing with foul trouble. That one goes out of bounds.
It's curious to see here. We really haven't seen the combination of Matiliano and James Castro for Shawarma Shack. With over 2 minutes left, you want to see your best players on the floor.
Taylor Statham was wide open there. Alano took a spill, but Statham missed. Now it's up to Shawarma Shack to capitalize here. Nino Ibanez and Gabawan. Good move here for Matiliano. They go back to Gabawan. Got the mismatch and the reverse layup.
Jamil Gabawan just being a total problem here for Statham Academy.
And Jonathan Guzman swoops in with that layup. And that last 2 minutes call is brought to you by Grab Kitchen. And you're right, Coach. Jamil Gabawan has been the main man in the fourth for Shawarma Shack, but they're still down by 7. Nino Ibanez going through Guzman. Montilla almost lost it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Mac Montilla's got 2 defenders rejected by Statham. Montilla from the outside into the hands of Guzman. Fast break to Galupo. Matiliano, good D, containing the fast break. This has been frenetic. And Taylor Statham recognizes we need to clamp down. Time is on our side. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Davis to Galupo from the corner. Yes! Austin Galupo has been a man on a mission. And Domart Matiliano answered back. But in the words of Jojo, this could be too little too late.
And what a great pass by Isaac Davis coming off that ball screen, knowing where his shooters are.
8-point game here. Travis DeVita got hit probably by that hip check from Domart Matiliano. And there's the physicality.
There's that chippiness we're talking about here in the fourth quarter.
That three-pointer from Austin Galupo was brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. The lack of a closeout from Shawarma Shack could prove costly.
Again, the defense, a couple of possessions from that, their transition defense was, sure to say, you know, not the form that you want to see in the last 2 minutes. You score a basket and they jog back down, allowing Guzman an easy layup to counter that basket.
Less than a minute remaining here in regulation. DeVita, the trigger man, 14 on the shot clock for Statham Academy. And clearly, it's a matter of playing keep away. Maybe hitting another timely basket to just put Shawarma Shack down for good. They go to Galupo. And that ball just ping-pongs out of bounds. So with 38.2 seconds remaining, what does Shawarma Shack do here?
They need a quick basket, probably to get the press going after they make one. Maybe a little quicker and not like that.
And Guzman steals it. He's on the break, jams it home. And to borrow from Richard Jefferson, time of death, 6:51 p.m. 3 seconds separating shot clock and game clock here. Nino Ibanez with the layup to bring them within 8. But Shawarma Shack, the effort just was not there in the fourth quarter. They really gave themselves a lot of hope throughout the first 3 frames, though.
Again, the defense absolutely collapsed for Shawarma Shack. They played so well for 35 minutes, and in the last 5 minutes of this quarter, their defense gave way and allowing Statham Academy this barrage of points towards the end.
They could not close the deal when it mattered. What a disappointing finish for Shawarma Shack. But first, let's bring you that dunk of the game brought to you by Banh Mi Kitchen. Jonathan Guzman rattling the rim with both hands, putting Nino Ibanez on that poster alongside himself. And for the Shawarma Shack, this was the dark horse team of this tournament. They brought themselves to the Final Four, but when the lights were brightest, they were just unable to compete with Statham Academy.
Just a complete breakdown defensively in the fourth quarter for Shawarma Shack. They went away from their strengths. They gave up the zone, opted to go man-on-man. And with a guy like Isaac Davis, just absolutely played very well as their point guard. 11 assists. He dimed this way to this victory, finding the shooters, finding his bigs. All credit goes to the starting point guard for Statham Academy.
Isaac Davis actually finished with 12 dimes there, Coach. very well-rounded effort as well from Jonathan Guzman, who had 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Travis DeVita, another all-around performance, 17 points, 4 boards, 6 assists. Austin Galupo, 14 points, but those 3-point shots were like gut shots coming from him. And then there's the player of the game, Taylor Statham, another double-double, vintage Statham, 21 points, 12 rebounds. He's the best player of the game, and he's standing with Kimberly Mas.
I'm here with the best player of the game, Taylor Statham. Now, this was a tough victory for Statham Academy, Taylor. What does it say about the character of the Statham Academy squad?
I think it just shows our team as a whole. Everybody had to sacrifice today. Everybody had to step up when their number was called, and we knew it was going to be a dogfight coming in. It wasn't going to be handed to us no matter who we played. And hats off to Shawarma, they played great. They were really well coached. And that's why we're here, man. We're here to compete against the best and really battle test these young guys. And, you know, just our team camaraderie is showing, and we're starting to gel at the right time.
And now we know the story is far from over. You're the first team to head into the grand finals tomorrow. Now, what needs to happen in the next 24 hours for Statham Academy to win the 2023 CORSA Tires Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship?
Right now, just rest. Take care of our bodies. You know, go get a good meal, hydrate up, stretch, and, you know, watch film of this next game and, you know, prepare as best we can. Because either way, we're going to play. You know, there's 2 great teams playing right now, so whoever we get, we're going to give our best effort to and prepare to the best of our ability. We got one more day in this thing.
And of course, the floor is yours, Taylor, to give your greetings and your shout-outs to your loved ones and your fans.
Yeah, shout out to my family who's here. My fiance, Karine. Without her, none of this would be possible. My 2 babies over there, Maddox and Izzy. Our good family friend, Jana, and then, you know, just everybody back home. All these amazing fans and Dasmariñas and, you know, all throughout the Philippines who've been greeting us. We appreciate you guys, and, you know, we got one more. You know, we're doing everything we can not to let you guys down.
Congratulations once again, Taylor Statham and Statham Academy. Back to you, Stan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Kim. Statham Academy has booked its seat in the finals tomorrow, but can they finish the story? Coming up in just a bit, our final game in the semis. It's the Miss or Mustangs against the Benil Blazers for that last spot in tomorrow's championship game. On behalf of Kimberly Mas and Coach Mark Dandan, my name is Stan C. We'll see you for our second game in just a bit.